Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. This is Week 6, Day number 3 of the North American Challenger League. I am Malphus X, being joined here by Studio. We're hopping into our second game of the evening, pitting Team Coast up against Team Curse. Studio, no! The separation is too much. I can't go on.
All right, don't worry, Malphus.
Until Studio is joined us. There he is.
I'm back. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. And now we can find out, can Curse take 2 wins in a row versus Coast? Coast, of course, undefeated up until their loss versus Curse. This is the big match. These are the two former LCS teams, and Coast has been the big dog for sure. They got the big dog now, but can they get that big dog status back versus Curse? Invasions from both sides. Both sides get the wards down. Shifter going into a possibly dangerous spot. Don't think they'll go towards that bush a bit too much, though. Tossing out some bombs, looking for some annoyance.
Interestingly enough, that bomb exploded on its third bounce. So as did that one as well. So he can't actually be sure if someone's in there or not. Now he can be sure as the entire side of Curse run back out. We see the bombs continue to land here. Daydreaming, looking to cut them off. Maybe gonna go for death. Oh no, he's already learned the flay. So the best he could do is a flash flay, and likely just get a flash in return. Instead, he's gonna try to take the short route through the jungle and cut them off. That ward will go down into the blue buff area. Curse, I do believe they did see that ward go down, so they're going to know that Coast have vision of their blue buff area. They did also get deep wards down onto the red buff. Both teams were able to secure that. And, thus far, we haven't seen any of those lane wards we were talking about. So Curse are going to have to just send their AD carry and support to the top lane and kind of hope. They do have the ward down in the red buff area, so they see Wiz Fujin and Daydreaming down in the bottom lane, and that's going to tell them that they're safe to send Vayne Nami up to the top lane if that's indeed what they want. But Cop actually cuts cross country. Looks like he's just going to be given I Will Dominate a helping hand here in the red buff.
You don't want to leave your jungler alone like Nintendo X right now, feeling abandoned, feeling sad on that Shyvana. But will they actually rotate Daydreaming and Wiz Fujin towards top? They made a motion for it but backed on off. So looks like we'll see the 2v1s going out as Voyboy going aggressive on the Shifter. Syndra wants to take control of this match early before before Ziggs enters that free farm mode of Ziggs that we've seen before, or he just spams out bombs, spams out minefields, and just CS's like a champ, and you can't really stop him. So Voyboy's going to be playing a bit more aggressive early on, trying to land a ball every now and then look for a gank setup with I Will Dominate or a level 6 kill with that full burst combo that Shyvana can very easily deploy.
So we see, it's actually going to be a little harass coming down here from Zeke, and Nintendo X going to be able to use his smite to grab that one up. Zion Spartan still in experience range of that one. So he's going to try to do everything he can to get himself an extra level or two. He is indeed going to hit level 2 before he heads back out, but the Ward in the Brush is going to offer Zeke the opportunity to just scrap that idea, and Zion Spartan instead is going to head up to the top lane. He's going to get there just about in time to be able to catch up much of that creep wave. As, Zion Spartan, talk to us a little bit about Nasus in the 2v1. What does he have to offer the team?
In the team sense, in the lane sense, it's Spirit Fire to survive. In team fights, it's going to be more about Wither. However, running into a bad situation, Zion Spartan went topside, got hit by a tumble from Vayne, took a lot of damage, and is actually already going to recall and go back to base. So normally in a 2v1 lane as an Asus, you expect him to get very little farm, get 1 or 2 siphoning strike stacks per wave maximum, probably less actually, and you expect him to be a Wither and Spirit Fire bot later on in the game. Wither, of course, an amazing attack speed and movement speed slow, and Spirit Fire with its armor shredding abilities is incredibly powerful. However, the question is, can he survive up in lane? He did teleport back. He does have some more sustain, 4 health potions and mana potion to keep himself alive in lane, so it's going to take a lot of harass, but he should be able to survive it, especially with the help of Nintendo X.
And you pointed out that Spirit Fire as well. Spirit Fire is an uncapped AoE, so it doesn't matter how many creeps it's dealing damage to, and it sticks around for quite some time. It is a decent way of keeping that that lane relatively clear. That plus Vayne's relatively short range is, I believe, going to give the advantage over here to the side of Team Coast. The hook's going to land on the Quas. Quas going to eat a little bit of harass, but not going to be too bad on that one as he's able to slice himself back out as soon as he has control of his champion again. So the fact that Zion Spartan and Nintendo X have a decent amount of AoE damage that will allow them to clear the creep waves off the tower as soon as it gets pushed up there, plus the fact that they're battling against Lucian with his passive, who's able to get a significant number of bonus auto attacks off onto the tower, I expect to see Team Coast taking down the tower first.
I expect to see Team Coast going for a gank up top side. They do have Shifter roaming. The fight's going on. Can they pick off that Nami?
Zeke already used his flash to get away from this one. Shifter going to reveal himself over here. Zeke going to run the other way, trying to split the forces off so that he can ensure Cop safety the only way he knows how. First blood going to go down to Nintendo X. He chases that down with the burnout. Cop will indeed get out, does not have to burn a summoner spell, but once again, Shifter proves himself to be one of the most efficient roamers in the North American scene.
He is missing some CS mid lane, but he's still ahead in CS overall. And that's actually a really neat gank because no one expects it. Ziggs is not an early ganking champion. He does good damage. His CC is unreliable though because the minefield can usually be walked out of. The Nintendo X takes a lot of damage mid lane. And the satchel charge, it's a risky thing to use aggressively because guess what? If you mess up, you die. However, because it was a 3v2, because Nami was going to be in such a precarious position, it was an incredibly powerful gank from Shifter. I like that roaming. It's uncommon to do it with a champion like Ziggs that early on, but you know what? Why wait? Why play the farm game if you can go aggressively pick up a kill for his team? Now Shyvana, 1-0-0, the assist on the Zion Spartan. The farm not going towards Shifter is actually okay because that means the top laner, who's going to be gold starved, and the jungler, who spent a lot of time topside, also getting gold starved, really get a lot out of that money, as little as it may be compared to what Shifter could be farming up in the mid lane.
And actually, I feel as though it's worth pointing out that Shifter, I was talking about how efficient his roams are, stuff like that. He ended up kind of setting himself behind because he didn't even get an assist for that kill when he came up to it. Zekin was able to avoid his damage, and all the gold just went over to Zion Spartan and Nintendo X on that one. So we see, Shifter, despite going up there, he lost a little bit. I shouldn't say he's falling behind. He's losing some of the advantage that he could have built himself as far as CS goes. Compared to what he was able to do with Voyboy. But he has so much AoE, and this is one of the things that Ziggs was just buffed up, where his minefield allows him to just clear out camps incredibly quickly. So even if he did fall behind, he'd be able to catch up in relatively short order. So Voyboy is doing what he can to continue applying the pressure, but Shifter bought himself enough space to make that roam happen, and is now level 6, as is the Syndra. So we'll see if he's able to make any plays like that happen again.
I actually like how it worked out, as in X looking bot lane. Could be going for a turret push. A dive under Renekton, a bit risky, especially with Syndra not having that much CC. Actually none at this point in the game. They did send Jarvan top as well, so it looks like this could be turret for turret as Ziggs ultimate toward that top turret, trying to keep it alive for as long as possible.
Yeah, Quas is going to do what he can as well, using the Slice and Dice to get out. Going to go ahead and pop the Dominus as well as he tries to chase people out, but it's a little bit too late. They won't be able to get that one down. Now he's going to find himself caught on this one. The culling getting used. There's the Relentless Pursuit as well. Quas getting taken down incredibly low. Daydreaming lands that death sentence. Quas is going to flash forward here. Will be able to pick up the kill before he goes down. So Quas in the 1v3 goes 1 for 1, but advantage going to go to Coast as they take down that tower as well.
They get the turret, top turret to go to Curse, of course, so it is going to be turret for turret. However, more assist gold going to the members of Coast makes it a bit more beneficial trade for them. This does give Zion Spartan as well a chance to farm that big old creep wave, and Zion Spartan himself is at a whopping 18 Siphoning Strike stacks, which is not what you want to be at really any time past the 3-minute mark, so he's really going to enjoy this time with the creep wave. But it was an interesting play from Quas. He went aggressive without Slice and Dice available. However, he was trying to do whatever he could, and getting a 1-for-1 is not a bad situation, as Nintendo X does seal up that blue buff. It looks like we're going to see a bit more of a standard laning phase come out. Actually, that kill is important because Quas is going to try and use that to snowball top lane. Because you're going up against Zion Spartan, we've seen Maces before, they don't really fall to Renekton if Renekton's on even ground, because you can just build armor and survive. However, Quas has that kill lead, and even though the Goldwood Lucian for that death, that's not going to benefit Nasus at all. Now, Zion Spartan gets nothing out of that, and he actually does get a Jarvan to his face as well.
Yeah, and we see there's the Papa going to the Zion Spartan, going to immediately use that ultimate. There's the Cataclysm as well, going to lock them all into this one. Zion Spartan doing what damage he can, but it's nowhere near enough. Quas using that kill to pick himself up a pickaxe and just dealing insane amounts of damage there. He's going to pick up his second kill of the game as soon as he makes his way into that top lane.
Now, Nasus is behind. Zion Spartan might not be able to get any farm. Quas has that pickaxe. It's aggressive. This is going to be an aggressive Renekton, so it's going to be up to either Nintendo X to try and kill him, which is going to be relatively difficult. You can rely only on Nasus' Wither for CC, or Quas will just be able to bully Zion Spartan. He's still top lane. He's still going to apply pressure just because he knows he has the opportunity to, and shutting down any sort of farm for Zion Spartan is going to be imperative, keeping those Siphoning Strike stacks down. He's still only at 36. Like, less than 100 before 10 minutes is pretty bad, but this was a 1v2, so you expect to have less than 50. And if you can keep that number low, that's huge for Curse, because Zion Spartan becomes that less efficient in team fight.
Right, so we do indeed see Coast group up onto the Dragon. The pink ward there is in favor of Team Curse, so they will end up with the timer on that one, but that's all they're going to be able to get as far as advantage for having that ward control down there. Coast's going to grab that one up very, very quickly. They use the culling coming out from Lucian, combine that with the BF sword. It does a fair amount of damage there early on. be able to clean that one up nice and fast. Nintendo next going to grab himself up a red buff as well as he continues to roam around the map. And one thing that's worth pointing out is Zion Spartan did have enough gold to pick up at least his Glacial Shroud. So he will have the cooldown reduction to help him get those Qs off a little bit more often. It will get a little bit easier for him to farm up Siphoning Strike, especially now that he has the wave relatively frozen near him. But Quas has already finished up the Tiamat at this point, so it's going to be very simple for him to just shove that wave into the tower again and again and continue to harass Zion Spartan while he tries to farm up that Siphoning Strike.
To harass, to apply damage, they ping out Shifter by his wolves. So they could be going for a dive here. This would be a pretty huge dive. Shifter does have his satchel up, though, and we'll be able to just detonate away from that. They want to try and shut down his farm. He's at 98 CS, beating Boy by about 13. Not a huge lead overall. But Ziggs, once he starts farming, once he really gets that pace, it's so hard to shut him down, and his damage scales incredibly well. He needs items, though. He's going to get into Themes, but he's also going to need a death cap to go with that to really start applying some DPS. Or a Void Staff. Like, you can't just go off the Athenes. It's kind of like Oriana in that regard. So Curse, they're going to have a good moment here as Void Boy should be finishing his own Athenes relatively soon. If they can try and make a power play before Shifter has too many items and Zion Spartan has too much farm, there's going to be a really good timing attack in favor of Curse.
All right, and also talk to us just briefly about the fact that there is a hyper carry on the side of Team Curse here. Vayne is not a champion that we've seen as much of late as we have in the last few months, but Kop is going to take her out for this game. Is this something that we'll need to watch out for? Is this a game where Vayne does have that hyper carry potential where she can just kind of blow everyone up in the late game?
It depends on whether he goes for a Quicksilver Sash and Mercurial Scimitar, because that Nace's Weather, we've seen it shut down 80 carries, Kop burning the barrier, so not looking for that necessarily mid-game carrying potential because a good Wither just shuts him down entirely. As Zion Spartan top lane takes a lot of damage from Quas, that Tiamat DPS incredibly high. But expect Kop to be relevant much later on in the game if Zion Spartan is able to get in range for a Wither. There's going to be a lot more aggressive action from Curse right now, as Void Boy is going to have a still incredibly high burst potential. Zion Spartan is going to be pretty weak. Shifter's not going to be as powerful as he could be. Like, now they're grouping up, now they're roaming as a team a whole lot more because they know in a standard 5v5 or 4v4 team fight, they should actually come out on top.
And that was, we saw a little illustration of exactly how strong Ziggs is after the buff. We see I Will Dominate getting potentially caught out in the stun. Will not land on Daydream as he flashes away from that one. Zekan going to flash forward here, going to try to land the bubble. Will not be able to do so. I Will Dominate pops the Cataclysm onto Daydream, and Daydream using the box as well. Going to hook up I Will Dominate. There comes a beautiful Mega Inferno Bomb. Shifter going to pick up a kill onto I Will Dominate. Quas gets in from the side, gets the Ignite down onto Daydream, and beats a hasty retreat as they end up trading 1-for-1 on that one. They drop the support, but they lose the jungler. Nintendo Dex trying to re-engage, going to get stunned up one more time by Boy Boy. Boy Boy continuing to just throw down those orbs and get as much harass as possible. Quas coming in from the side will not be able to find the re-engage that he would like. And indeed, at the end of the trade, it's going to go 1-for-1. High damage coming out of Shifter already. I mean, that Mega Inferno Bomb landed perfectly, so that was a good 300 burst damage going on to I Will Dominate, as well as all the supplemental damage from Daydream. And they were able to pick him up, but that required a flash and ignite from Quas just to finish him off. It was, moving aggressively with a slice, ignite, flash out to be safe. So a lot of resources were spent in that kill. This gives Zion Spartan some time to farm top lane. Coast actually coming out very far ahead in that exchange. Now, Curse, though, they still picked up a kill. They need to try and aggressively use that Void Boy ultimate. They're looking for kills with that because right now Shifter is farming so quickly and efficiently in lane. They have a 2 or 3 second window to actually kill him at the creep wave, and then he's gone, either farming Wraiths, farming Wolves, doing something else across the map. The question is, Curse, what are they going to try and do now? To keep shutting down Zion Spartan, keep going for a Shifter, or just wait for the next Dragon and try and engage there? Dragon is up in about 1:45, and Curse do have the timing. I do have one final concern for Curse at the end of that fight, in that Wiz Fujin has been able to bridge the CS gap that Kop built between the two of them, and is actually now leading in CS. We see I Will Dominate down in the bottom lane as they do try to shut this down. They go on to Daydream, and they know he has no flash. He's going to get locked up. Kop's going to be able to pick up that kill, but here comes the teleport from Zion Spartan. Kop going to go down before he even shows up. There's the culling. Flash comes out. He doesn't get in range for the flash Wither. Zekan going to give himself the Tidecaller's Blessing. Zion Spartan pops the ultimate as well. Isn't here in time, so he loses the teleport and his flash and doesn't get anything for it. Quas going to try to shove the top lane as hard as he can to punish them for that one, but Nintendo Dex in the area going to try to mitigate that damage the best he can. And
that's got a sting as the big dog. Unfortunately, Zion Spartan, he had to rush defensive items to survive versus Quas. Boots don't help a whole lot versus Renekton, because guess what? Slice and dice, he'll stick on you anyways. So the Boots is still coming out from Zion Spartan. Would have been great for Quas, and it is. He has that frozen heart. He can actually survive versus him quite well. But going for those ganks, going for that teleport, just a bit too slow. The big dog needs sneakers. However, they still got that kill, they still got that 1-for-1. Not favorable for Coast because, well, Zion Spartan blew a lot to get there and not really do a whole lot. However, they can still make some stuff happen, and he's still farming top lane. That's the important thing. He's behind, but Nasus just needs time, and he's getting that time with the minion waves, up to about 162 siphoning strike damage, which is, it's not great still, but he's catching it very quickly from his much farther behind position, and he can actually survive versus Quas. Not super well, don't want to keep him up there, but he will not die most likely.
Quas, you know, even his teacher calls him the ward killer, as he was able to get the auto attack down and then the ruthless predator to clear the ward away as soon as Zion Spartan dropped it down on his face. Very, very nicely played there by Quas, not allowing that vision to go down. I like the first item coming out here from Zion Spartan. Oh, Zeke caught up in that minefield. The Mega Inferno Bomb will that be good for the kill, but the last auto attack will be able to get him out of that one. Shifter gonna use the satchel to reposition himself. I will dominate him back in. He wants to get the steal down onto this dragon if he can do so. He cannot do so. Nintendo Deck's gonna smite that one away and Coast grab one kill for nothing and secure the dragon.
They secure the dragon, Quas roaming from the top lane, so this gives Zion Spartan some more time farming, and just overall a huge play. I love Shifter's play because the way he plays Ziggs is so non-standard compared to what you normally see. He's not playing him passively, he's been playing him aggressively since level 4 when he went top for the gank, and he knows that his damage is just enough to kill Zeke right now. Zeke only level 7, very squishy, only has that Sightstone for tankiness, and because he has just enough to kill Zeke, he's going to keep going for it. Just keep going for aggressive plays, because even if Zeke had survived that, he still would have forced him back out of the fight, and he could not have come back. He could have applied the Tidecaller's Blessing, and that's about it in terms of contributions to that dragon fight.
And now Zekin's, or excuse me, not Zekin, but rather Shifter's reward for that style of play is that he has 1,700 gold in the inventory. If he wants to go back and pick himself up a needlessly large rod, he can do so. And that's going to extend the range of the targets that he can do that to, that he can just burst down with one full combo of like 2 bouncing bombs, a minefield right on top of them, and the ultimate coming out. So he is, you know, he's a pretty terrifying bomber at this point.
It's important to note that the minefield, it's not something you can catch people out with normally, but he did that in the Fog of War. So Zeke walked into the minefield. Normally when you see a Ziggs, you can kind of predict where the minefield is going to come out from. You'll see it come out, and you can actually avoid most, if not all, of the bombs that he'll place with that. However, doing that from the Fog of War, there's no time for Zeke to react. It's like, oh, there are mines underneath me, and I'm dead. That was his reaction possibilities, and Ignite wasn't even used in that. I'd expect a death cap from Shifter. There's nothing really threatening him right now. Not a lot of great engage. Like, you need instant CC, you need surprise CC to really take down a Ziggs if they have good vision. And right now, Coast has good vision. So a Satchel Charge will protect him from Jarvan, it'll protect him from Renekton, and even Void Boy, he has to land essentially a long-range stun to really do anything to Ziggs at this point. So Shifter, I mean, he might be out of control. He might be in that position where he will not die in any sort of team fight.
Zion Spartan has actually scaled up enough at this point that he is crushing Quas down. Quas has had to itemize so much damage to actually be able to hurt Zion Spartan. Zion Spartan is getting that damage from just a siphoning strike, so the fact that he's picked up Ninja Tabby plus Frozen Heart is incredibly strong against Quas at this point. Quas having to burn the ultimate just to get himself away from this one. That Mega Inferno Bomb, where was that one headed? Wait, I saw him toss it out. I didn't see where it went. Did he try to steal the red or something?
Wraiths.
Oh, just try to steal Wraiths?
I'm not positive. Like I saw that it was such a short range bomb that I didn't see where the minimap icon went for it. But yeah, just going aggressive with it. It's not a long cooldown. It's 80 seconds. He does not have blue buff, so it could have been a little bit shorter. But in the end, it's really not a hugely important ultimate to hold on to. Coast will know to play defensively until it comes back up. It's got a short enough cooldown where Curse can't really go for anything, and Dragon isn't up relatively soon. So even though the ultimate was used, really accomplished the biggest thing, it's okay because it'll be back and Coast will know to respect it. Though it would be handy right about now.
It would indeed be handy right about now if they try to take away this blue buff. Nintendo Deck's going to show up, going to use the smite. It's going to be a little bit too early. It ends up going over to Void Boy. So Curse, not only are they able to secure their own blue buff, they're able to put it on the target that they want it on. So that's tremendous play for them, as Coast did have to send quite a few members to try to make that steal happen, and were rewarded for it with, you know, nothing. Up in the top lane, Quas has completed a phage, and this one Zion Spartan's got his ultimate back up. He's going to throw it onto Quas. He throws down the Wither as well. Quas doesn't have his ultimate available to him. Zion Spartan just chasing him down. So much damage coming out. Siphoning Strike. Zion Spartan's going to go for the dive. Does he have the last Siphoning Strike? Yes, indeed he does. Takes away Renekton's soul under his tower, and now he's going to take the tower too.
A nice clean pickup. Quas unfortunately tried to time his ultimate based off the timing, or Zanzibar's ultimate based off the timing of his own, but the CDR from Frozen Heart meant that, guess what? Fury of the Sands came up a bit earlier as the box comes out from Daydream and not able to land that CC. It's okay though, because they're taking that bottom turret. I think Coast might be in this position, Malthus, to go ahead reclaim their title from Curse. They don't want to lose 2 in a row, and they're fighting hard to make sure that does not happen.
And they're in a great spot for it right now. I want to point out one extra little bit of itemization here that I love from Team Coast. Zion Spartans picked up the Frozen Heart first, and that frees up Nintendo Dex to just go straight up for the Randuin's Omen. So if at any point the two of them dive together, if Zion Spartan and Nintendo Dex are chasing down Cop, if he's going to have basically no auto attack speed, like whatsoever, no attack speed whatsoever. Daydreamin lands a Distance over the wall, the Mega Inferno Bomb picks up the kill on a Z-Kent. As Shifter, you know, he's not done just annihilating supports.
It's so much damage, and Zeke only level 8. He's incredibly squishy. He's got 1300 HP. Shifter's Mega Inferno Bomb. He's not level 16, so this will go up just from base damage. Is doing about 750 damage right now. That is so much damage compared to what you normally expect, and of course the range and its reliability. The game's coming out from Curse though. They're looking for this fight.
Quas gonna get himself to the back of this fight. Shifter gonna go down. That's gonna be Cop picking up that kill. Now Quas trying to beat a hasty retreat. Zion Spartan comes back in with a teleport, gonna get the Wither down. He picks up another kill on a Quas. Boy using the push to try to disengage that fight as best he can. Now coming back out, Zion Spartan gets the Wither down on the Cop. Cop wants to chase down and get as much damage as he can. This is the phase of the team fight where Vayne thrives. They're gonna get Zion Spartan locked up against the wall. Boy gonna want to pick that kill up with the ultimate, and ends up going 2 for 1 in favor of Kurtz.
They gotta start taking some turrets now. They gotta start taking some objectives because you don't have a lot of time before Shifter comes back up. The Mega Inferno Bomb was not used there. That was incredibly good punishment for Curse. If you look at the vision from Coast, they had quite a bit in the area, but they weren't ready for that quick pincer attack. Now aggression on the mid lane. Daydream is caught out.
He's gonna give up his life, but can they get the trade? Indeed, they can't. Wiz Fusion picks up the kill on the Cop, and I believe Daydreamin is gonna go ahead and call that one worth.
I'd say that it stops the push, it keeps the turrets alive. Who did the kill go to? I believe it went to Syndra, so not farming up that Vayne. Syndra still getting to that point where she could instantly give most people. So it's important that Voyboy gets farmed still, because once Syndra gets to that insta-give potential, it's so threatening and so scary. And he's not quite there going with the Athene's build.
Nintendo Dex gonna get locked up by the bubble here. We're gonna see a Smite fight come out. It's gonna go over to the side of I Will Dominate. Nintendo Dex had the Smite available, did not use it. Long range Dragon form. Dragon's Descent, I believe that's called. Just barely getting him over the wall on that one. So a nice escape coming out from Nintendo Dex after he was not able to secure the Dragon for his side.
I believe we'll put that 2 for 0 in Smite's favoring Curse when it comes to Smite off wars. We saw one earlier at the blue buff. Dominate's just got those Smite and skills at hand. So don't expect anything but a very safe Baron from Nintendo Dex, because that stuff actually really builds up on players. You miss 2 Smites in a row like that, it's daunting to go into any sort of Smite engagement now. Still though, Curse, they had some good momentum going. They need to try and regain that. If they get rid of the wards in their own jungle, which Zeke now clearing with the Oracles is definitely going to focus on, they can try and once again go for plays against Shifter. Shifter, when he got caught out, just evaporated. That was a lot of the influence of Quas's build for the more DPS style build. It means that Renekton lands his stun if he lands that Cold the Meat, and Shifter goes down very quickly. Tank and Renekton would have some more trouble with that, but they need to catch him out first. They need to get rid of that vision, and it looks like they've done so. It's going to be a lot harder for Coast to push aggressively now because you just don't know where Curse will be hiding.
I do see one potential issue for Curse. In the beginning of this game, throughout the first like 12 minutes or 15 minutes or so, Cop's farm was exemplary. I mean, he had just absolutely excellent farm. His farm has fallen off a lot. Curse have not been able to find opportunities for him to find safe lanes and actually just pick up farm. They've been trying to rotate him into team fights. They've been trying to get him go through kills. So I Will Dominate gets caught out on that brush. He's going to get death sentence as soon as he starts up the combo. Daydreamin with beautiful timing on that one, going to cancel that out. There's a satchel charge as well. Shifter going to be able to pick that kill up as I Will Dominate just got caught out.
And that satchel charge from Shifter, by the way, was huge. It got him out of the ultimate, the Cataclysm from Jarvan, which was imperative because Voyboy almost landed his stun at that very second. And if Voyboy had landed the stun onto Ziggs, we would have seen the combo come out from him. It would have been a Shifter or a Jarvan combination, or Jarvan exchange, which is definitely in favor of Curse, with right now Shifter being that big, scary target. Cop is in a lot of danger. Zion Spartan going aggressively. The Blade of the Rune King does proc, though.
He's going to go ahead and pop his ultimate as well. There's the Wither going back down onto Cop. Tower Shot going to get Zion Spartan back away from that one. No! Spirit Fire with the armor reduction going to be able to clean that one up with one Siphoning Strike. Shifter catches Zekin out, uses the Mega Inferno Bomb for yet another kill. Quas trying to come in from another flank, but at this point he has no team left. Voidboy down to almost no HP. Shifter going to flash forward. There's the Ignite with the passive. That's going to do it. Ignite ticks down. Shifter goes on a killing spree as he cleans that kill up. And Coast claimed the first inhibitor of the game.
Are they done yet? Looks like he's going to back up, played a bit more safely. They do take top turret as well. You mentioned Cop's farm earlier. He has fallen behind and Cursed. They went for this big mid-game aggression. You know, Quas's build right now, it's not going to keep him alive in a team fight. He can't really engage safely. The roaming from Bane, they were looking for team fights all the time, and the result was that they couldn't get the pick-offs they wanted. It was that one team fight, that one a gank attempt from the jungle of Coast, where Ziggs was able to pick up a kill, and then Quas was able to flash Ignite to secure the kill into Daydream, and that's really what set this pace up. They just haven't been able to find a good engagement since then, aside from that 2-for-1, and they couldn't get any momentum off that either. Zion Spartan, is he finally going to go down?
Zion Spartan, no mana left on this one, uses, I think just about his last Siphoning Strike, going to flash away from the Cataclysm as soon as it comes out. I will dominate once they continue this chase. Zion Spartan very low on HP, has ultimate available now. I don't know if he has the mana available to him, but it's not going to matter as he's able to get himself away from that one.
Walked on out. Actually going to turn around, might go for some more damage as Nintendo Dex has shown up. The Shifter will be in range too very soon for the Mega Inferno Bomb. They're chasing down Quas. He's squishy. He flashes for the Ignite. Zion Spartan, can he survive?
He gets a shield coming out from the Thresh. He will use his passive as well as he just farms up all those creeps to get his life steal going back up. Quas getting taken out incredibly low. Nintendo Dex going to want to pick up that kill as soon as Wiz Fujin shows up into the area. And Zion Spartan using himself as bait, going to be able to get the flash and the Ignite out of Quas. And Quas, unfortunately, won't be able to answer that one down in the 1v3. Now I Will Dominate goes back in onto Daydream, and the ultimate comes out from Voidboy. Ignite ticking down. Is it going to be enough? Daydream will not fall. Wiz Fujin punishes Voidboy for his aggression. He's going to pick up that kill. Now they turn on to I Will Dominate. I Will Dominate going to be able to flash away from that one. The Culling's going to come out, but not a single bolt will land that day, as instead Coast turn themselves back around and move in towards the Baron.
Are they going to go for it? They have started up. There are two members down there for Curse, down at the bot. Zeke and Cop pushing safely. I Will Dominate. He's going to go for the steal most likely. He's had the smites before. Can he get the smite steal now? A Shifter actually starts charging over the wall to try and keep him out.
We see Zion Spartan heads down to the bottom lane to stop the push. Now it's just going to be Shifter zoning. I Will Dominate. Oh my word. Yeah, we're going to go with word on that one. Shifter blows I Will Dominate to pieces. Picks up that kill very, very quickly. Coast are indeed able to pick themselves up the Baron. And all things are coming up aces for Coast at this point. Zion Spartan chasing down onto Cop. He's going to get popped up by the bubbles. Cop burns the Blade of the Ruin King as well as soon as Zion Spartan gets the Wither down onto him. We see the Condemn actually pushing Zion Spartan away. It's going to be just about the only thing that gives Cop enough space. That plus the Tidecaller's Blessing, but here comes Daydreamin from the side. Going to be able to get that Flay down. So much damage coming down onto Daydreamin. He's going to get locked up. Does get the death sentence down in time. Cop actually going to pick up the kill onto Daydreamin as he turns himself around. Nintendo Dex able to pick up the killing spree as he cleans that one up. The Wither goes down onto Voidboy. Voidboy, he's not going to be able to get himself out of this one. Zion Spartan grabs that kill as he cleans that one up. And man, oh man, Coast are doing a number on Curse at this point.
I mean, they're ahead by 12,000 gold. Shifter has reached critical mass. There's not a whole lot to stop him. There's not a whole lot to get to him and gank him with the way Coast have been playing very defensively, very safely when they don't find an opportunity, and aggressively the second they see an opening. Like, they've been playing so well with vision. Look at the ward coverage on the map. Curse not able to secure anything. Daydream has gone down quite a few times, but it's usually a sacrifice for his team. He's going for trades, he's making sure that they're setting up kills on more important targets. It's been working out so well. They're going for this inhibitor push. Creep wave isn't quite there yet, so Nintendo Dex can take a bit of damage, but they should be able to get this turret.
They grab that one up, so the inhibitor tower is down in the bottom lane. The inhibitor is gone in the mid lane. They group up, they move on to the inhibitor. They will be able to take that one down. I Will Dominate stepping forward as though he wants to engage. Wiz Fujin gonna blow him up as soon as he comes through with the EQ. No Cataclysm comes out before he dies. Zion Spartan goes on a killing spree as he picks up the kill onto Nami. Voidboy will be able to get a kill back down in return onto Nintendo Deck. Double kill goes down for Wiz Fujin. Now Voidboy actually gonna grab himself a double kill as well. Voidboy gonna be the only surviving member of Curse. He'll make it back on the fountain just in time for the surrender vote. Coast with an emphatic message sent to Curse here. They say, you will not take another game off of us. They pick this one up at 28 minutes.